How is it that some portrait photographers are making $2,000, $3,000, even $10,000 and more from a single portrait session, while others with the same gear, the same talent, all the same equipment are barely getting inquiries? It's easy to think, well, they have more experience. They live in a city with more wealthy people. Maybe they're running Facebook ads, and that's what gets them the large orders. Listen, I've worked with thousands of photographers, and I can tell you that's not actually the case. Here's what most booked photographers are doing differently. They're not chasing clients. They're spotting their potential clients' life moments, and they're showing up as the solution. Because listen, when someone's life is changing, like they're growing their family, they've overcome something big, maybe they're starting fresh, they need to preserve a memory that they will cherish forever. But they don't always know that. Here's the thing, it's more than posting for engagement. Start solving real problems. One of my students used this exact approach and made over $15,000 from one single idea here. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to use my 17 clients framework, and it starts with the people already in your life. The good news is you don't need to be salesy. You just need to pay attention. Before we dive in, I want you to think about this. What most photographers are doing is they're waiting for other clients to find them. Maybe they're like, oh, they'll find me on Instagram if I post enough, or they'll search me in Google and my SEO will get me found. Or maybe you think you have to figure out the whole Facebook ad, lose money really fast scheme. If that's you, you're in the right place, okay? Because here's what you're gonna do instead, and it's so much easier. What I do instead of waiting for someone to find me is I look for life events, because where there's a life event, there is an emotional need. Let me show you what I mean by walking you through my 17 clients framework. On the left, you'll see 17 real life situations. On the right, you're going to write in the actual people from your life who fit into these categories. When my students making over $100,000 a year are short on their monthly goal, this is the exact process I walk them through to get revenue quickly. Let me break this down for you. When I say 17 categories, this represents different life events, and each one has lots of specific situations under it. I really want you to hear this. This is where people invest the most money because their emotions are so high. Let's look at some examples. Let's say your kids are into karate or dance or scouts. They're pouring their hearts into something that's shaping who they are right now and who they're going to be. We know they probably won't become professional dancers or black belt instructors or heck NBA players. But in this moment, these are the activities they're doing that build their confidence. Here's what busy parents don't have the time to even think about. They're so busy getting them to practice, washing uniforms, finding the uniforms, and cheering from the sidelines that they're not thinking, maybe I should get a portrait of them in their element before they outgrow this phase. A lot of times it's survival mode, and I know because I've been there. But we know that photographing these moments builds their self-esteem, and it gives families something to cherish forever. Sometimes the kids in blended families are struggling to feel included, and maybe you came from a blended family, right? Where mom and dad each had kids before they married each other, and they don't even realize how healing it would be to put a wall portrait on the wall with all the kids in the entire new family unit. So this would put everyone in a place where they're being showcased as part of this new family. And for us as photographers to give them that recommendation serves them. Don't you agree? What about a growing family? Whether it's a new baby, a new pet, maybe an adoption. I mean, think about the case of adoption where people have been on a waiting list, sometimes for years, and now the adoption is final. So what we're talking about isn't just, oh, let's get pictures. It's your chance to remind them that this artwork is such a great way to celebrate them becoming a family forever. What about multi-generations? Oh my gosh, I would love to have a portrait with my mom and my grandma and my great grandma who were all living at the same time, but nobody did that for me. Now as a photographer, it's my personal mission to give everyone this idea, who has multi-generations in their life. Sure, they can say no, but often they don't. The thing is, they are not out there searching for a photographer to do this. And when I give them the idea, it only makes sense that they would work with me to do it. This might feel hard the first time or two that you do it, but I come from the viewpoint of we are really serving families when we see things that they don't see, when we see time running out. I can't tell you how many times I've run into people who tell me how disappointed they are that they didn't get that last photo session in before the person or the pet that they loved so much passed. What about older pets in their last months? That 14-year-old dog who's been with the family since the kids were little bitty. It goes without saying that this sweet little family member is in its sort of golden years, but the family isn't thinking about a beautiful professional piece of artwork to remember their child's first pet forever. I feel it's our moral obligation to at least make the suggestion. They can say no, and that's okay. You gave them the idea, and even if they don't hire you, you are having meaning and impact in life. Here's what's so great about this. Now that you have a few examples, as you start to have these conversations out in the world, you will start seeing dozens of opportunities all around you. And listen, when you master this one skill, you will always be able to book clients, which means you will always be able to make good income with your camera. Okay, now that you've identified 17 or heck, probably even more opportunities, problems, or needs as you're going through our list, you're probably asking, how do you find the people who fit into these categories that you can book? All right, the first thing you want to do is you want to go through your list of contacts. Now, don't judge these people, just brainstorm, okay? You can probably fill out half of this list just by opening Facebook and looking at your Facebook friends and your Instagram followers and looking at what's happening in their lives. Think about your family and your coworkers. Think about all the places you're going where you're active in your community, from working out at the gym or going to church or whatever activities you're involved in. You want to make a list of all of those people. And as you're going through that contact list in your phone, don't just think, oh yeah, there's my sister-in-law's name. Think of her sister. And she has 2 little kids who do dance, who do karate. Where do her parents work? Who do you know there? Go follow up with all of those people while you're looking at this list and ask yourself, what do they need? Then you're gonna look beyond your immediate circle. Especially if you're saying, but Sarah, I don't have any friends or family and I just moved to a town where I don't know anyone. This is for you. Here are 3 ideas to expand your reach. First, partner with businesses that serve people who are going through transitions, like real estate agents, divorce attorneys, pediatricians, midwives, personal trainers, pet breeders. Think about all of their customers. They would be perfect clients for you. You can volunteer at places where life events happen, like hospitals, churches, community centers. And number 3, what's interesting to you? You can join parenting groups. You can join hobby groups, book clubs, the parent-teacher group that meets for coffee on Wednesday. You can rally all of the parents who are sitting on the bleachers every week watching their kids play their sport. Then when you identify an opportunity, you're gonna bring it up super casually in conversation, not necessarily to sell, but to serve. Get this, one of my students named Sarah Gardner, she's a single mom who picked up a camera for the first time just over a year ago. She was living in a tiny town in Maine, and she found someone in a life transition to photograph who was celebrating some personal growth and did this exact thing. And here's what made this work. Sarah knew this client because she was a bartender. This woman came in often, and so they already trusted each other and knew each other. The mom had just gotten a divorce, had moved out of her big family home into a smaller place downtown. And she, of course, had a lot of emotions around this and felt sad about the move. But Sarah saw what this mom really needed. She felt like, oh my gosh, if you had pictures of your 2 grown kids who were 18 and 20 to put on the walls in your new place. It would help you with this new start. Sarah didn't just take random photos. She planned it out knowing that these images would go big and be hanging on her walls. So following our system with this new client, the result for her was a $15,535.90 order. What? What's cool about this is Sarah helped this mom turn her new place into a real home again after her divorce. Here's something cool. People will happily invest more when they're feeling big emotions because it's preserving a memory with people who matter to them. It represents a new start. Sarah's client wasn't just buying photos. She was buying hope for her new start in life. Listen, when you help people through tough times or happy times, they care more about how you help them than how much does every little thing cost. Here's the really great thing that I really want you to get. These so-called competitors that you worry about all the time, they aren't doing this because they don't know how. They're all out there duking it out to see who can charge the lowest price, who can get the most inquiries in some free Facebook group somewhere, or the most SEO. That's why your competitors don't matter. When you learn skills like this, your competitors don't matter anymore. Which is why this one strategy opens up a whole new flood of opportunities for you in your business. Once you've identified the people and matched them with the problem, opportunity, or need that they have in their life for photography, here's how you're going to start the conversation with them without that yucky, salesy feeling of like, oh, I'm just trying to sell them photography, okay? Step one, you're gonna be curious, okay? Just because you're in business, you don't have to be awkward talking to people. Just be curious about them and ask questions about what's happening in their life. And for sure, don't even worry about bringing up photography. As you identify the problem that you can solve, that will happen naturally. But I want you to really hear this, okay? Until you find a reason that they need to have this photographic artwork created, you've got to keep chatting because that's when it feels salesy. That's what people don't know. Okay, so you're just going to start with, hey, how are your teenagers doing this summer? And you do this everywhere you go in life. So for example, you're sitting on the bleachers watching your child play a sport and you're visiting with the person next to you and you're just curious, like, how are your kids doing this summer? Are they bored? What's happening in their life? What's going on? I'm just asking questions. Step two is identify the opportunity, the need, or the problem. Okay, so you're waiting for them to share this with you. For example, as you're starting that conversation with the person next to you on the bleachers, the other mom might open up and say, gosh, my older daughter's really struggling right now that she's in high school. All of her friends went into different sports and she's really struggling to find a group and she's going through a lot of sad right now. That might come out immediately, but as you're talking, you're looking for whatever that problem or opportunity is that you have the solution to. It might sound like, oh, your daughter's getting bullied by her friend group. In my mind, she needs a session to lift her up right now. Oh, your other kids are in a competitive soccer league and they eat, sleep, and breathe soccer. In my mind, I'm thinking they need a cool Sports Illustrated style piece of artwork to go in their bedroom that they can look at every day and feel amazing. Oh, your twins are 4? In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they haven't lost their baby teeth yet. And that's my favorite time to get a formal wall portrait of that child because they're never gonna look the same again once they get their big kid teeth. Is this making sense? Because then once you've identified how you can help them, then and only then do we plant the seed gently by just sharing an idea or an example. Once I hear the opportunity that I have the solution for, I sort of start throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. I'll say something like, hey, I'm a photographer. If they don't know it, I will let them know that and say, I did something recently with a client whose daughter was in a similar place. We called it an empowerment experience. So we had this amazing time with her. We went to a wide open field. We had her wear like this super cool dress that she hadn't gotten a lot of time to wear. And she put like Chuck Taylor, old beat up tennis shoes. And we just like had her move, and it was so much fun. The goal was to remind her with the creation of this image that the world is big, it's endlessly full of possibilities, and I wanted her to remember this experience and say, I know I can find my way. And what's cool is her confidence grew with every frame that I created. You are deeply loved. And now every day that girl sees that large wall portrait hanging in her room of her just looking amazing, and she starts her day feeling so good about herself. It's really amazing what that kind of empowerment experience can do for their self-esteem. Step 4, read the room. So after I've shared this short little story and planted a seed, I zip it up and I read the room and see how my now prospect responds. All right, so not only am I listening to the words that she's saying, I watch her body language. And based on that feedback, I will know if one, she's excited and wants more info from me, because she'll say, oh my gosh, could we do that for my daughter? Okay. Or two, she'll say, oh, I like that idea. I'll have to talk to her about it. My sister-in-law is a photographer, so she'll probably want to do that. That's cool. She can take the idea and run with it. Cool. Or three, she's going to hate the idea and say, oh, we did pictures last year and she hated them. Okay. Quite frankly, I don't care which one, because it's my passion to point out these beautiful moments that I see that others don't always see, and how photography can fit into their life. And then here's something that my students are always just like mind blown about. We have a saying in our community that is committed but not attached. I am committed but not attached to the outcome. And you might actually want to write that down, because it takes away the self-judgment of, oh, I've been rejected and I've failed. It means I'm committed to helping them have this great idea, because I do care about her daughter who's going through a hard time right now. But I'm not attached to the outcome. She hires me and gives me money, okay? That's when it feels salesy and yucky, okay? This is just a conversation. What most photographers do wrong in this situation is they focus on their own needs instead of their clients. You don't ever want to lead with, hey, I'm building my portfolio, or I need more clients, or I'm having a sale. If you always lead with their story and the solution you can provide to them, you will become a booking machine. Here's the truth. If you sit around and wait for people to search for a photographer, you'll get price shoppers. But when you take control of your marketing, that's when you create real results. Results with clients who love you, gush on you, invest more, refer you, and keep coming back. Let me just recap here. Number 1, shift your thinking. Okay, I want you to go from, I'm desperately hoping and waiting for clients to come to me, to, I'm going to start looking for people who are going through life changes and need to be reminded that photography is something they need right now. Number 2, use the framework. Download our 17 clients framework and identify which opportunities exist around you right now. The link to grab it is below this video. Number 3, make your contact list. Literally set an hour aside to write down Facebook friends, family, coworkers, gym buddies, church friends, anyone you know and sometimes don't even know yet who are going through transitions. Step 4, you're going to build connections first. You're just going to show up where your dream clients already are, have real conversations, and connect like a human first. Step 5, you're going to time it right. Instead of blurting out, I'm a photographer and I want you to book me, you wait till you've identified the problem, opportunity, or need in someone's life, and then follow the steps I taught you to start the conversation and throw that spaghetti solution at the wall and see if it sticks. And remember, be committed but not attached as to how they respond to your recommendation. Easy peasy, and do this consistently, and you'll build a family first, fully booked out photography business where clients are clamoring to come to you. Listen, you have something powerful to offer, and it's time to stop hiding and doing what all of your competitors do. When you lead with connection and solve real problems through your photography, you will never run out of clients. They'll be thrilled with your ideas and they will be begging to buy your products. Listen, now that you know how to spot opportunities and start these conversations, Your next step is making sure you're confident about how to talk about your photography prices. What the heck even are they? In this next video, you'll learn exactly how to set fair and profitable prices for your portrait photography business so you can stop undervaluing your work and start building a business that actually pays you what you deserve. Click right here to watch that now and finally price yourself like the professional you are.